Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Actually It's a Mirror, where I talk news, celebrity, gossip, hot topics. You name it, I talk about it. Why? Because I like to let you know what's going on out here in these YouTube and celebrity streets. But please be reminded that everything I say here on this here broadcast is allegedly and just my opinion. Why? Because I do not know these people. What did I say? I do not know these people. I'm just speculating like you, but I'm going to take you through this Rob and China, Khloe Kardashian, Kim Kardashian, Khloe Kardashian, Kim Kardashian, Kris Jenner, and Kylie Jenner trial play by play. I'm going through some of the news articles and I want to bring you my perspective on what I think is going on behind the scenes. So, most recently, an executive from the E Network actually testified in open court regarding the case with Black China. He testifies in court that Black China's season 2 was absolutely never green lit. He testifies that he only met Robin China one time. Well, he only saw them happy one time. And that after that, it was nothing but tumultuous fire, violence, and toxicity between the two. So this producer, his name, actually, he's the co-president of Bunham Murray, which is the E Network. His name is Jeff Jenkins, and he testifies in open court that Robin China was never greenlit for a new series. During his testimony, Jenkins claimed that the networks, including BET, VH1, Lifetime, and MTV, were uninterested in picking up a show featuring China alone. So he's implying that it was actually Rob who refused to participate due to the volatility of their relationship. And then he goes on to say, I would not pick up this show. He admitted that via Zoom, that there was no more Rob and China. Jenkins said he greenlit the first season after meeting with the couple where China came off as witty and Rob appeared to be very happy in his relationship. He was really excited, and that was the first and last time he saw the couple happy. He testifies about that. Good morning, Deborah Brown. He testifies to that in open court. So if I'm Linciani, I can't wait to hear this guy on cross. Because if I am Linciani, you are saying that that was the first and last time you saw them happy. Well, now we're going to have a very good conversation about how many times you actually met with Rob and China individually to get an update on the status of their relationship. Because chances are, if you're the co-president of a major network, you probably only met these people one or two times at an absolute max. You are making your testimony based on hearsay about the toxicity of their relationship, not a direct experience. And I would have to ask you to please let me know what area of the footage between Rob and China was more toxic than any of the footage you witnessed between Kim, Kylie, Khloe, Kris, and every other Kardashian, because the last time I checked, I can think of multiple scenes throughout Keeping Up with the Kardashians that included violence, that included alleged drug use, that included alcohol abuse, that included pill popping, that included theft, that included shoplifting, robbery when Kim was accosted in Paris. Like, you guys actually thrive in excellence by talking about toxic relationships. On that is the premise, that is the baseline premise of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. So don't give me no BS about how all of a sudden you have sat on top of a high horse and all of a sudden Rob and China are just too trashy for your network. Give me a break. Give me a break. And then goes on to say BET, VH1, Lifetime, and MTV failed to pick up the show. Well, now you got to back up that claim. So now I want to see how you pitched this show to all of those networks and they sent you a rejection offer. You just can't make wild claims in open court. You can't make wild claims in open court. So go ahead and show me the proof that they neglected to pick up the show. And it's kind of like a little sneak diss. Like, even the lowest of low networks, right, didn't want this show, except for Lifetime. Lifetime, they be doing the little e-crime series. I can't believe he threw Lifetime in this. My Lifetime ain't want him either. Like, that is not Lifetime's target market. Lifetime be trying to talk about women who've been battered and left bad relationships. Please. Yeah. Oh, wow. He met them probably one time because they were going to be on his network. He wanted to act like he knew them like that. You didn't know them like that. Then he goes on to say that he never greenlit their season. They then go on to testify that there was no way he could have greenlit that show when China had filed a restraining order against Rob. Boom. Now, he's trying to get a win for the Jenner case by saying, well, wait a second, she had a restraining order against this man. How are we going to film a show when there's an active restraining order where he needs to stay away from her? Well, let's go and talk about it. They killed the Black Rob and Chyna'S show in March of 2017. That is when that show got killed. These reports came out in March 2017. I'm going to play you a little bit of clip of a news clip that says it. Hold on.
On the couple's wedding, which isn't happening anytime soon.
I don't know. Hope you guys can hear this.
I'm tuning to catch their back and forth co-parenting situation right now. While season 2 is officially on hold, E did give us something to look forward to. A spokesperson for the network.
Okay, you heard that. While season 2 is officially on hold, they never said it was canceled. They said it was on hold. And this is being reported by major news outlets directly from E. Major news outlets, we are putting this show on hold. They then go on to say in this breaking video that they, not only is it just on hold, but that Rob and Chyna'S is continuing to film for the show, and that footage will possibly be aired on Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Boom. So please explain to me, E! News, how just in March, Chyna'S didn't file a restraining order against Rob until July of 2017. And the reason why she filed that restraining order is because now her show had been canceled. That's number one. And two, he engaged in revenge, PORN, by leaking her nudes. So you did not cancel that show because she had a restraining order. The restraining order happened months after the cancellation announcement, according to several news outlets on YouTube live footage. I hope Linciani is playing the clips. Wait a second. It sounds to me that the E Network said it was on hold. It sounds to me like the E Network said that they were still filming, and that footage would be utilized possibly in Keeping Up with the Kardashians, and or to greenlight like the season at a later date once the couple gets back on good terms. And these news sources report that Rob and Chyna'S were still living together at the time. Wait a second. Hold up. Wait a minute. You got to answer for that, Jen Jenkins, in court. Are you not putting a green light to these press releases that are going out? Because it's sounding to me that you told them it was on hold, which is probably what you told Chyna'S. We're gonna keep filming. Chyna'S ain't changed her story. Chyna'S said that they told me we were still filming. I continue to film for Rob and Chyna'S with the idea that they were gonna air this footage. That is what Chyna'S said from day one, and every news outlet reported the same thing in March of 2017 when the season was put on hold, which is exactly what Chyna'S testimony is. So you got to account for that. You got to account for that, Jen Jenkins, in open court. You got to account for how you go on to say in your testimony that you went to Kris Jenner's house. He goes on to say that he went to Kris Jenner's house and they had a private conversation about why that show should not continue to air. You went to Kris Jenner's house. You have implicated Kris Jenner right back into, she is the center of the bullcrap between Rob and Chyna'S, and the center of why Chyna'S has a lawsuit. And you're going to go ahead and implicate her by saying you went to Kris Jenner's house to have this conversation? You went to Kris Jenner's house to have a conversation? Why is Kris Jenner even involved in making a decision about the shows you choose to put on your network? How involved is she? Because Chyna'S says she got her canceled. Sounds like you're admitting that, buddy. What were you doing at her house? What was the nature of that dialogue? What was the nature of that dialogue? I want to know where you're coming from. Because why were you at Kris Jenner's house? Why? I want to know. You got to answer. You have got to come to terms with that. You got to come to terms with that. I want to know. That's number one. Number two, let's talk about how the Kardashians' attorney is trying to humiliate Blac Chyna in open court by handing her a binder full of her nudes. And making them look at those nudes in open court in front of a jury when her nudes are not on trial here. They're trying to diminish her character, further defame her character in open court. It's like the boldness of these people. They are bold. Like, I am going to, and to me, if I'm in the jury box, I'm going to fall victim to emotional testimony. right? You're trying to use good morning, Renika. You're gonna fall victim to emotional testimony if I'm in the jury box. You're trying to humiliate this woman and make it seem like she was nothing but trash by saying, look at all of these nudes. And then even though they want to say, oh, they never showed the nudes to the jury, they only showed the nudes to China. Well, if the jury box is eyewitnessing this woman flip through pages and pages and pages of inappropriate photos, then they can only assume that this woman has a history of trashy behavior, and they're trying to demoralize and debunk her character. That's what they were trying to do. Well, how about Linciani get in court the next day and show the Instagram feed of Rob breaking into, violating Chyna'S boundaries, breaking into her social media and posting revenge PORN against her? Let's talk about their character. Let's talk about their character. Let's talk about how Kris Jenner testified in open court that Tyga told her that Chyn'a planned to unalive Kylie Jenner, and she allowed this woman who made a terroristic threat to her child, allegedly, to continue to come to her home, to continue to film with her son, and then co-sign this young man dating her 17-year-old daughter. Let's talk about character. If we want to talk about character, let's talk about it. Let's talk about who has character and who does not, because I could think of some many faulty things. Let's talk about how you continue to advocate for your oldest daughter to marry Scott Disick, who on national television punched a hole in a glass mirror instead of punching your daughter clean out cold in her face, bleeding out all over the floor. She was terrified. She ran, she locked herself in the other room. Kim had to come rescue her. I know y'all remember that episode. That is a memory that sticks in my mind. And yet you and your family continue to champion this relationship when this guy admitted to having a problem with drugs and admitted to having a problem with alcohol. Admitted it in open court and in open rehab. And you champion this relationship, but all of a sudden now you're above drama. Now all of a sudden you're above toxicity. Save it for somebody who freaking believes it. I find it disgusting that their lawyer would stoop to that level of low to try to expose her nudes in open court to demoralize and further defame her character. And then gonna lie. This guy is lying. Of course he will lie. He has a right and an obligation to defend his company if you are being put in open court. But I would, if I was Linciani, I want to see the paperwork. You can't just tell me something and expect me to believe it. Show the proof. Did you pitch this to other networks? Did you communicate to Chyn'a in writing that her show was canceled? Did Chyn'a think that she was signing a renewal contract and not a kill agreement because she substantially relied on Kris Jenner as her counsel? So Chyn'a, if you need to prove that Kris Jenner acted in good faith to you as representation, as a manager, as a confidant, and as an advisor, and that she breached that trust with you by going behind your back and snaking with Jen Jenkins, who testified in open court that he met with Kris Jenner to destroy your show. They co-conspired. They are co-conspirators, and they are further co-conspirating in open court to drag you down. Allegedly, in just my opinion, because I do not know these people. But that's what I'm inferring. I'm inferring that Kris Jenner is so entangled in the E Network and has so much juice in that E Network that she can simply make a phone call to Jen Jenkins and get anything she wants canceled. Anything she wants. Because Jen Jenkins, I have a hard time believing that you would cut off your nose to spite your face. They were bringing in 2.7 million unique viewers a show. They were a money-making machine. So much so that you bumped the Kardashians from their time slot and gave it to Rob and Chyn'a. So testify in open court as to why you did that. Testify in open court. Testify in open court as to why you killed your number one show. Who made you do it? Who made you do it? Who made you do it? Please. Please. And then Kris Jenner goes on to testify and say that Rob wrote a letter to Kris begging her not to cancel the second season of the show once he realized that they were going to put it on hold. Don't you know Kris Jenner got in open court and testified and said, my son didn't write that. That was some words of somebody else. My son didn't write that. So you're telling me that your son decided to walk away from a $1 million check just because, when he doesn't have any other sources of income, to my knowledge? Arthur George, ain't nobody buying them socks. Do you or anybody I know own a pair of Arthur George socks? Because I don't. I saw them in Nordstrom's, but ain't nobody buying them. The whole table was filled. I didn't see nobody walk by. They kept on going. They was over there, Michael Kors and all those other Ralph Lauren. Nobody was buying those socks. So quiet as it's kept, your son needed the money probably more than China because ain't nobody checking for him in the club. He ain't in no videos. Nobody checking for him. So you told, and then the lies. It's the lies. It's the lies for me. Further, if you guys ever saw that clip, there was a clip. I might have it on my phone. Actually, I might have it on my phone. There's a clip of Kim, Kylie, Chloe, Courtney, uh, Kendall talking about the Rob and China show, in which Kim and Chloe are adamant that Rob needs a job and that this show should go on because Rob needs a job and that this is the only thing that's going to get him out of the bed. And Kendall was adamant that she didn't want him doing the show. And Kris was like, well, I understand, but they like, Rob needs a job. Rob is depressed. Rob doesn't get out of bed. He needs a job. He needs a job. They see this as a business. They don't see this as human beings. Even Kendall testified when in her little speech. She was like, all you guys care about is a freaking show. Like, that's all y'all obsessed with fame and y'all obsessed with this whole idea of a show. There's more to life than a show. There's more to life than a show. But these women want to act like they're above it. Please. Let's add Kim's tape to the open courtroom showing nudity. Exactly. Scott was even worse. Chloe and Lamar had a friend that allegedly OD'd while Rob was living with them. Let's talk about I forgot about that. Lamar Odom's best friend. Yes, the heavyset dude. Yes, who was perfectly fine. Him and Lamar were perfectly fine. Because listen, quiet as it's kept, Lamar may have had his demons prior to getting with Khloe Kardashian. As far as I know, he may have had his demons. But what we will not say is that Lamar Odom didn't show up every day to practice with the Lakers. We will not say that he wasn't the sixth man on that team. And we will not say that he didn't help them Lakers win multiple championships. It wasn't until he got with Khloe that his whole life came tumbling down. His whole life. So maybe he was an addict, but he had it under some kind of control. He got with this woman, and then all of a sudden he in a ranch. ODing. He losing his best friend. OD. He on bingers. Come on. And y'all want to act like China caused this problem. No, your son had issues long before China came along. In the words of Deborah Brown, facts on facts on facts. He had issues long before China came around. His issues stem back to season 2 of the Kardashians when he pretty much was gone. His issues go way before China. China came and gave him a sense of hope and a sense of light, because I ain't seen that he started losing weight. Listen, the data don't lie. You can call this woman toxic, but the footage and the data don't lie. Did China not have him going to the gym? Yes. Did she have him going on walks? Yes. Did she give him a baby? Yes. Did she birth that baby for him? Yes. Did she have a good laughs with him? Yes. Did they have a hit show? Yes. So please explain to me why she gave this man a reason for the season. She gave him a reason to live. It was Rob who went on and posted multiple articles and said that Dream, his baby Dreamy, gave him a whole new purpose in life. That she's the best thing that ever happened to him. So this woman, China, is single-handedly 50% responsible for the best thing that ever happened to you in your life. And how dare you conspire with your family to destroy her? The mother of your freaking child. I'm done with all of them. And then the lawyer, he's trashy. He is trashy. I couldn't believe that he actually went into court, and he is ruthless, going to show her a booklet of her nudes to try to humiliate her. China was brought to tears. They had to take a break. She couldn't contain herself. Humiliating her in open court was something that's irrelevant to the status of this case, because her nudes ain't got nothing to do with why they canceled that show. The show was canceled because they were jealous. And if I was Linciani, that's what I'm going with. They were insanely jealous of the success of Rob and China. Insanely jealous. They didn't like the fact that they lost their time slot. They didn't like the fact that they were trending every Sunday, they were trending over the Kardashians. They were number 1 on Twitter Sunday after Sunday. And they didn't like it. They didn't like it. Call a thing a thing. You didn't like it. You didn't like that this black girl with her loud mouth and her snapping neck was having a baby with your baby brother and was your ex-friend, and you didn't like that she was taking the star from you right from underneath your feet. She was giving your brother a style to run with, because wasn't nobody but Malika checking for Rob before China came along. Yo, China made this man hot. He made the sister hot. Good morning, Miss Lady Diva. I'm on the road today. He made the sister hot. China gave Kim a style to run with. Like, no, Kim was a bubblegum Paris Hilton knockoff. Okay. She was a simple life bubblehead. Let's call a thing a thing. Yeah, everybody might have watched the Kardashians, but really you was watching because it was trash TV and because it was like this Mickey Mouse bubblegum weird family. Like, it was chaos, right? It was trash TV. It was. And that's why people was watching. Once she started hanging out with China and Amber Rose and them, she into that black demographic. She into that hot girl, that Instagram baddie. She entered a whole different arena of respect from video vixens and from strippers, which really are the influences of our culture on Instagram. Everybody want to be an IG bed. That's why everybody's getting BBLs to get this like super, video vixen type body. They are the culture. They are the culture. So you basically, Black China gave your sister a culture to run with. She gave your baby sister a boyfriend who was popping on Young Money at the time because you stole her man when he was about to take off. He was Black Tiger was his star was rising at the time. And what happened after he got with Kylie? Anybody heard from Tiger since for real like that? Everybody heard of Kylie though. Kylie done made herself a billionaire with lift kits and this, that, and there. Nobody would have been checking for little Kylie before she got with Tiger. Who was checking for this little girl before she got with Tiger? She was trying to follow in Kendall footsteps and be a cosmopolitan model, which is the only job that Kendall could get for real, until Kanye came along and put him in his show, the Yeezy show, which broke her career. Let's be real. They've been mooching off of the culture for a long time. They've been mooching for a long time. And it's the audacity for me. It's the audacity that you're going to sit here and try to destroy a woman's character and emotional and financial well-being simply because you don't like that she got a baby by your brother. You tried to strong arm her with manipulation and play on her ignorance. And even though I'm going to say it, China got to take some responsibility because I don't know why you would trust a snake. First of all, them Kardashians showed you that they were snakes. When once Kim called your phone and was like, I got to stop being your friend because my baby sister is sleeping with your baby daddy. Like, literally, Kim made that phone call. Like, Kim made a phone call to tell her that my little sister wants your baby daddy. So I can't be friends with you anymore because at the end of the day, this is my sister and I'm going to stand beside her. They showed you what type of time they was on. Like, they showed you what type of time they was on. Period. You knew exactly what type of time they was on once Kim made that call. So for China to let her guard down and believe that these people would continue to act in her best interest was very ignorant of her. She should have had her own lawyer. She should have had her own contract attorney. She should have had her own representation because quiet as it's kept, I tell people all the time, I don't care if you're in business with your mama. You get a contract and you get your own lawyer. Let her get her own lawyer. We don't need joint representation. We don't. We need to make sure that all contracts and partnership contracts are being negotiated in the best interest of all parties involved. And we cannot have a common lawyer. We cannot share a lawyer with the person we going into business with. No. I need to make sure I'm being represented fairly, and you need to make sure you're being represented fairly because our interests are different. They are competitors. And that's where China messed up. She didn't realize that she was in competition with the Kardashians. Y'all are both on the same network. Y'all are competitors. Y'all are not friends. Y'all are not, you're not the baby show. You're a competition. Only one person can be number one, China. You should have got your own lawyer to negotiate your best interest and to read through that contract and let you know that you were signing your own death certificate. You should have got your own lawyer. I'm hoping in open court that Linciani is going to be able to talk about 3 key points. Number one, she needs to prove that China did not file that restraining order until long after her show was already put on hold. That's number one. Number two, she got to prove she substantially relied on Kris Jenner's counsel as her representation and advisor. Number three, she got to prove that Kris Jenner influences decisions over at the E! Network. And number four, I think she needs Rob. Rob needs to be subpoenaed in this. He need to come in open court and testify as to whether or not he reached out to his mother at any point in time and asked for his show to continue. I'm going to need to hear from Rob on this. Because right now, it's like China's being left out to dry. And I get it. Rob not going to go against the family because Kris probably write him out the will. He ain't going to go against the family. So he like, yo, I don't want nothing to do with it. Like, do what you got to do, but like, keep me out of it. You suing me anyway. But I think I think, man, I think Rob need to get up in court and need to say the truth. Somebody got to tell the truth because Chyn'a right now is fighting all by herself. It's like 6 against 1. It's 6 against 1. Her and her lawyer, and I hope her lawyer did the proper discovery and the proper research. Period. Period. That's why when you're dealing with people, you got to do everything in writing. If you ever in a contract negotiation with anybody and they want to have a conversation with you about the terms and conditions, feel free to have a verbal dialogue, but you better be dang sure you follow up with a written email confirming the details of that verbal conversation. Period. Do not have no verbal agreements with anybody about anything, employers included. No. Oh, if this is what's going to happen at the end of the meeting, hi, per our meeting today at 5:45 a.m. via Zoom, we discussed the following. Boom, 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 boom. Please advise that this email is to summarize exactly what was discussed in the meeting. And if you would like to make any changes or if there's any miscommunication about what was discussed, please reply to this email promptly. Period. And the moment they don't reply to that email, that is consent. The moment they reply and change any of your data points, now we got a further dialogue. Don't let nobody pull a wool over your eyes by blindsiding you with babble and talk. The family is culture virtues. All they do is dish their friends after they get with it. Yeah, I did made a video about that yesterday. They dish your friends and they steal people men. That's how they destroy women. They take your men and then they strip you of your resources. They get the drop on you. They like colonizers. They get the drop on you and then they throw you out. And anybody who's friends with them should be a little bit cautious. I haven't seen anybody be friends with the Kardashians and go on to thrive. That's like their active friend. They're always in the shadows. Even poor Malika and Khadijah. I mean, they're like their A1 day one friends, and yet these women have not even reached mogul status. Like they're like D-list celebrities. They're not invited anywhere. They're not at the Met. Their stars haven't rise. Nobody don't really mess with them like that. I mean, God, thank God Khadijah got her a great husband, and she be like laying low with it. But poor Malika, nobody don't be checking for how you been friends with your best friend is a multimillionaire, possibly potential billionaire, and you can't get more than what 100,000 subscribers on your YouTube channel. You ever seen that YouTube channel? I think they got less than 500,000 subscribers. And about It Takes Two or The Two of Us or Two of a Kind. I forget what it's called. I think I've seen like one episode, and I'm like, how is this? Because you're always going to be in the shadows of your friend. You're always going to be in the shadows of Chloe. All she's going to do is take your style, take your culture, take your language, and make it seem like she's cool with Black people by being cool with Black people. But really, what opportunities have you gotten from that relationship? Like major opportunities. I'll wait. Because I remember on several seasons of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, I saw Malika wearing clothes from Forever 21. I remember looking at her like, I got that sweater, Forever 21. And we're talking like she's in legit seasons deep into Keeping Up with the Kardashians, rocking Forever 21 hard. Hard. So what did she get out of the friendship? A couple gifted Chanel bags? Maybe Chloe's old Birkins that she don't want no more? I'll wait. But yeah, document. That is very, very, very important when you are doing any contract negotiations. I'm super interested in seeing the new developments in the Rob and Chyn'a case. I hope Linciani comes through with that smoking gun. I hope that she makes Kris Jenner feel accountable for destroying Chyna'S reputation and for canceling her show. I hope she got real evidence because right now Chyn'a is looking a little sketchy, and I'm rooting for you, boo-boo. I am rooting for you. But Linciani has got to come through. She's got to come through. So thank you guys for checking into the live. As always, please remember to like the live on the way out. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'll talk to you guys next time. Have a great day.